Okay, welcome back, everybody. So this week we're going to be talking about bullet points, right? And with bullet points, you can the biggest challenge with bullet points is that there are so many things you can say, right? And I think it's really where people struggle the most in sales copywriting on Amazon is figuring out precisely what to say and where to put things, and like what order things should go in. Um, we can keep it pretty simple and still grab conversions, and then we can accelerate it from there. So the simple way, there's a baby. Can you guys hear that baby right outside my door? There's a baby right outside my door. The simplest way to do this is to kind of follow a template about that. We've tested this a lot of times, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to focus on your first bullet point is like, why is the product superior? Okay. And when we've talked, this is also the hardest thing to teach if you didn't notice. When we've talked about things like hypnotic anchors, right? You want to most of the time focus on the superiority of your product and your hypnotic anchors and a summary of why it's awesome or better than other products in your first bullet point, right? So someone give me a product, and we can totally make this up, right? Someone just toss out a product idea. Anybody? Is everybody still here? Is everybody still here? It is very quiet here today. Okay.
Diane, can you take any electronic product?
Sure. Yep, electronic products are the easiest things to create hypnotic anchors for because people are used to seeing hypnotic anchors for electronic products, right? So let's say, do you have a specific electronic product in mind, or do you want me to just come up with one?
Yeah, you can pick any.
Okay, let's do Bluetooth earbuds. Okay, so assuming we've done our research, we know that for Bluetooth earbuds, people are looking for...
Dan, can you share the screen with us?
Oh, yeah. Give me just a second here. Hopefully it works this time. Let's see. Need to move that up a little bit. See call participants. I'll be right back. I've got to go log in on a video. It says on video calls. Give me just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's why it's not sharing the screen. Okay, I am here. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can fix this. Turn off my camera and share this. Make that go small. No. This thing is not helpful. Hide. Let's hide that. Okay. Then here. Move myself out of the way. Move that out of the way. Okay.
Yes, we can see that.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so let's see here. So for bullet points, I just had week 6 up. Okay, so for bullet points, right? So let's say we have Bluetooth earbuds. If we were to do research on Bluetooth earbuds, we would notice things like people are talking about sound quality, right? So we'd want to hit that really hard. You'd want to create a hypnotic anchor about sound quality. The other thing that people are always looking at is noise canceling. Okay. So you'd want to create a hypnotic anchor about that. And then these are going to be your two primary things, right? The secondary things are going to be things like stays put while moving, takes calls, let's see, your control from earbuds. Let's see here. And I know because I did one of these, I've done lots of these, and then I did one of these again last week. So it's like, okay, this is kind of a cheat because I already know, what they want, right? So for your hypnotic, and then longevity, durability, and then you've got like, are they waterproof, right? Sweatproof. Okay. If we're going through and we've done our research, this is what we're going to find people are talking about in terms of these electronics, right? So then we break it down even further and we say, okay, what do they care about for sound quality? What do they care about? We found they care about bass, they care about clarity, especially call clarity, and they care about treble, right? And then if you look at what are our competitors doing, right? This is all laid out in, when you did your research for your product, this should all be laid out in your Excel spreadsheets, right? Or in your Google Sheets. Okay, so we already know what they care about because we've done the research. We already know what their competitors are doing because we've done the research. So their competitors are claiming they have the best earbuds, and a lot of times they're using, they're using the words like, booming bass, crystal clarity, crisp treble, right? Things like that. Let's see. So if we were to create a hypnotic anchor for something like this, which would be our first step when we're writing the bullet point, like a superior positioning bullet point, is we would look at something like, we want to make it sound really high tech, almost like something spacey, right? So we see something like, let's see here. You can do something as simple as Sound Boost XL, right? If you know that your target market are people who love loud music. Okay, so they want their sound to be louder and they want their sound to be really loud. Okay, if you have somebody who is using it more for business, you want to say something like clarity. And again, we're grabbing words from here like sound, clarity. Let's see here. Clarity Suite. We say something like Clarity Suite like 3.0, right? Suite is more of a business term, so we're using it there. Clarity is what they're looking for, right? And then this would just describe, then you just describe like what the components are, right? So or what the features are and the benefits are. So when you're writing your bullet point, you would, let's see here, where did I want to add this? You would do something like, let's see here, Clarity Suite 3.0. Okay, and you'd say like advanced call quality, right? So if that's what makes the product superior, or if that's what everybody has, but that's what we're positioning the product as superior, we're creating these hypnotic anchors here, right? And then you explain what that is. And so for Clarity Suite 3.0, we could say something like, well, most keywords in and out, making it impossible to hear what your client is saying. Let's see here. Let's see here. Brand name. Most Clarity Suite 3.0, an advanced. You can say something like sound tunneling technology that ensures calls stay connected, clear, ensures every word stays clear, crisp, and clear and crisp through every connected call. Okay, so you can do something like that, right? And again, I would go through and I would tweak this 5 times. That's the rule. Okay, a minimum of 5 times. Power up 5 times. So instead of going through and just rewriting it here, you'd go through and rewrite it. Like, you wouldn't go and edit this when you're first working on it. Okay. You're going to write a completely different bullet point, right? Or not a completely different bullet point, a bullet point in a different space. You're going to try to cut it down, because what we always want to do is we want to be looking at powering up and then cutting it down. So powering up means, can we cut out any of, or can we make any of these words more powerful? Okay. And can we make them any more relevant? And then, cutting it down means, can we make it a direct statement without making it sound salesy, right? So instead of advanced call quality, we could say, let's see here, 3.0. You can say pin drop call quality, which means you can hear a pin drop, right? Almost, and again, you can come back and add more keywords later as well, right? Let's see here. Well, people would say, and you also think of the words they're using. So like they would say cutting in and out, right? So let's see, well, most keywords cut in and out, losing you critical information, critical client information, and then brand name, you do the same thing. Clarity Suite 3.0. Here for exceptional, clear, crisp. 3.0 delivers the clearest, crispest connected calls. Something like that, right? And you may want to go back through and add it, because I like this advanced sound tunneling technology, right? So that's something else like we can go here and say Clarity Suite 3.0 sound tunneling technology delivers the crispest. You can even say blocks out, or retains. You know what? Let's switch this, and this happens all the time. So what you would do is you say, you can talk about Clarity Suite 3.0, right? And then you could go down and you can do another superiority bullet point right below that. And you can say it is, oops. You can talk about connectivity, right? And you could say sound tunneling technology, right? Something like that. So you can say zero drop connectivity and then sound tunneling technology. And the point of doing that is you want to make sure that your bullet points aren't too long, right? So the maximum bullet point for most Amazon listings is 500, but we try to keep it around 250. Some people want to do 100, but we've tested, if you start cutting out things, if you start cutting out features and benefits that position the product as superior, you're going to lose sales, right? So while some people are like, oh, people only read short bullet points, that's entirely not true. If they're interested in the product, they will definitely read longer bullet points. We've done split testing over and over and over again. So if you have somebody who's stuck on the 100 character bullet point thing, and it's not because they're locked in by Amazon and it's not because they can't get Amazon to change it. You want to make sure that you have everything you need in there to position it as superior without having erroneous miscellaneous information, right? Let's see here. Almost curious, kind of making it possible to hear your client say, brand name, boast, clarity. So, okay. And then if they do insist, what you do is you cut out this first portion. Okay. So you would go through it. If they're like, okay, well, we want the bullet points to be shorter. Okay. You could cut all of this out. You're not going to have the same conversions because this is positioning. But if they're doing other research, they'll have already partially positioned, like researching other products. If the consumers, you'll have already had them research a little bit about other products. They'll already have some kind of positioning in their head, right? So this hypnotic anchor is something they haven't seen before. Okay. So you could cut this particular, let me see if I can do this. Nope, it didn't work. Give me a second here. I'll just do this. So you could cut this particular part out if you wanted to and just say Clarity 3.0, Clarity Suite 3.0's advanced technology ensures Every word stays clear and crisp through every connected and every call. And you can even say never miss a single word, something like that, right? So you can shorten it if you want to, and this drops it from, have probably being, I'm guessing it's gonna be like 350. Give me a second here. 200 or 303, right? Not too bad. Down to 121, which is a pretty short bullet point for Amazon. Okay. So, if you say pin drop, then you would like change this. So you're like, okay, so I've come down here and I've written that a second time. I've come down here and I know that this seems kind of tedious, but really you want to do it this way. So, Clarity Sweet. See. So what you end up with, and we can even reverse these. Okay. The difference here is this is making a direct claim, right? So direct claims, and this isn't a direct claim that is against, this one is okay with Amazon's TOS, right? But the challenge is whenever you make a direct claim, you are people know you're trying to sell them something, right? So if you do a soft lead in with something like a superiority, like lead in, which is like while other, while other Bluetooth earbuds, drop calls, and you can even do something funny like drop calls like a kid drops presents at Christmas or something like that. If you want to be funny, it depends on your brand. And then you go into, the juxtaposition of what it is that your product does, right? So this is a shorter bullet point, but this one will actually not convert as well as any bullet point that has some kind of positioning, right? The other option here is you can also say something if you want to keep it short, right? So you can say pin call quality, clarity, Suite 3.0. And you can say don't, hold on for just a second. Hey, I need you, that's very cool. I need you to go out because I'm trying to explain something. Very cool. I know, but I'm not on video right now, so they can't even see you. That's my 6-year-old son. What?
Hello.
He says hello. And you can start something like you just start typing because otherwise you get blocks. Like don't settle for weak. Don't frustrate clients with constant call drops. Right. And this might go better under connectivity. We were talking about zero drop connectivity. So again, this is just about rearranging, powering up, powering up. And if I find something else, it's like, okay, well, I want to say that somewhere in these bullet points, but I don't want to say it there. I will drop it down to another bullet point and go back and revisit it. Okay. Let's see, pin drop, Clarity Suite 3.0. Don't settle for, let's see. Never yell. Stop repeating yourself. Okay. And then you could just, put this in here. You can also say, don't settle for constantly repeating yourself. And then you go through and you read it out loud. Okay. So this is just an example of like doing this 5 times. So here's 4. Here's 5. Okay. So, let's see here. Stop repeating yourself. We have.
Mom, how do you like the new upgrade?
Okay, and then usually when I get to 5, something
Mom,
else will pop in my head. I love it. I need you to go out, okay?
No.
That's very cool. Buddy, I really need you to go out of here right now. Okay, so on the 6th one, usually, if I can find a way to squeeze a question in there, I will. Okay, so now you have a bunch of great bullet points you can split test, and that's just for number 1. Okay, so a couple things here. So asking a question, especially if you're trying to, focus on the emotion, which a lot of times we want to do that. Most of the time we want to do that, right? making them feel this right here. Let's see here.
It's $5.
Tegan, put that down right now. Lock the door and pull it behind you. Lock the door. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see here. So this is anchoring in emotion, putting them in the right emotional state, okay? These starters, these lead-ins are all just options, okay? This one right here, don't settle for. This one is to, you can also trigger frustration that way and anger, okay? Make them feel like another product will let them down, okay? Disappoint them. Okay. This one is also about frustration. Okay. So these are all different ways to lead into frustration. The reason we know that we need to lead into frustration is because that's what we were seeing on the negative reviews from other products. Okay. So this is the shortest one, right? So this is the short and powered up version. Okay. And this is where we start up here, right? This is our hypnotic anchor. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I end up with 6, right? 5, 6. Yep. Okay, so this is what we started with. See how this is really, really long and how this is not what we're going to use? And then we ended up breaking off this, like advanced sound tunneling technology is going to go to the next one, right? And we can pair with Clarity Suite 3.0, but Clarity Suite 3.0, we want it just to be about the call quality on a business call, okay? We talked about Sound Boost XL. We can do the exact same thing, okay? So Sound Boost XL, let's see here. I'm going to go back and do there you go. Let's do one. So for Sound Boost XL, we do something like, let's see here. Neighbor shaking bass. Okay. So let's see here. Neighborhood shaking bass silently. Okay. So, let's see here. We would say something like, what do we call it? Sound Boost XL. Let's see here. You can even shorten this one right away. But let's start with the while most, okay? And I almost always start here because that triggers your brain, and you don't have to use this, but this triggers your brain into superior positioning, right? And it's a really simple bullet point to use, even if you just have to copy it. And then if you want to shorten it, you can, but you don't have to. Well, most keywords, okay, so that's going to be one of your main keywords. And then let's see here, why they fail, okay. And then you say brand name, keyword, delivers or boasts, depending on delivers is one you would use with the middle class. Boast is what you use with business class, middle, upper, and upper class. Okay. Boast, outcome they want, outcome they want, outcome they want. Okay. And then without, other bad thing they don't want, right? So this would look something like this. Okay. Neighborhood shaking bass silently. Okay. While most, earbuds, let's see here. Press the full. Let's see here. Let's call it Cool Guys just to be funny. That's the brand name is what I'm, just going to use. Cool Guys Bluetooth. But delivers the booming bass, crisp treble, and superior sound quality without upsetting your neighbors. Okay, so it'd be something like that. Okay, and then again, you go through. That's we have number 1, Okay, how can we shorten this? We just go look at a shortened version, right? We take out the while right here, so you can cross this out. Okay, if you want to do a shortened version, if you prefer shortened ones. Let's see here. So we can do the same thing. You can even see something like card shaking bass silently, right? Cool, guys. We didn't use the Hypnotic Anchor. This is why I check my own stuff. Sound, what do we call it? Sound Boost XL. Delivers the boomage. Better than any other. And then you put the keyword in there without upsetting your neighbors. You can even, and if you're really dramatic, you can say something like without your neighbors calling the cops. Okay, so if it's for a younger generation, you can do that. Go back through, same thing, right? Then you read them all out loud and decide which one you like best. Okay, and there are lots of other templates. If you go and you look at the bullet point template thing, there's lots of other templates you can look at, but these are the ones that I use most common for superiority. Okay, so stop listening to weak music. You can see something like, yeah, I'll do that on the next one. Weak music. Okay, same thing. Go down here. You can do a different lead in. So you can play with any of this, but the idea from this one is always superiority with a quick summary of like what the top thing they're looking for, or a summary of all the things they're looking for. So if you have a product that is that has a lot of different superior features, you can summarize them all, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. You can summarize them all in the first bullet point, right? Because a lot of times people read the first bullet point and the last bullet point. Okay, people almost always read the bullet points. I know that there's a lot of controversy out there about whether or not people read the bullet points, but it depends on how you have your listing laid out, and if they have to search for more information. Sorry, the hiccups there. That's where they're going to go. Okay. So give me a second. So your other lead-in. So these are lead-ins. Don't settle for constantly repeating yourself. Frustrated by constantly. Okay. So, and this right here, this was a word that came out that was like it was a hot button word, right? When you put in earbuds, you want to have like a full surround sound experience. Okay. So you might do Sound Boost XL surround sound, right? And again, like you're going to go back through and tweak these and tweak these and tweak these and tweak these. Okay. If you have, I'm just going to do the other lead-ins here. Lead-in is about settling for. Lead-in is don't. See, you can say don't settle for, or don't get. We don't want to do that for this one. Don't settle for something like that. You can do the lead-in of tired of weak sound ruining your favorite songs, things like that. Okay, so those are all different lead-ins for the first bullet point. Okay, so really you're going to pick a feature that they can relate to, right? Okay, we don't ever want to just say bass. We want to say something like car shaking bass, neighborhood shaking bass. What do they really, really want, right? So think about your demographic and what it is they really, really want. And you can go back to your sheet and see, okay, what are people saying? What are some of the words we've copied over that they really like, right? And then position that as something that makes this product superior. Okay. Then you want to go to your hypnotic anchor, or you can go to something that's going to be a juxtaposition, right? So neighborhood shaking bass silently, right? So that's going to open a nested loop in the human brain because it's a juxtaposition. They're like, well, how do you have neighborhood shaking bass, but it's silent, right? And then they want to keep reading on. This is another lead in right here. Okay, let's see here. And the reason that we use these lead-ins, and most sales copywriters either have these memorized, which I do, or the reason that you want to go and copy this is because a lot of times when you're writing sales copy for bullet points, there's so many different pieces of information in your head that you're trying to get down onto paper and make sure you don't miss anything, right? And so it's a way for your brain, these create open nested loops within your brain, right? So your brain will start filling in the gaps like, oh, I remember they said that these other products were awful because the other products are awful, fall short because, right? Okay. So if you want to do, and again, this is your first bullet point, your last bullet points are your most important bullet points. Your first bullet point is always about superiority. Your last bullet point is always about trust. Okay. It's right there. Okay. And then these are just the other features that you know about and the outcomes that you know they want. Okay. So let's go back up here. Okay. So does anybody have any questions so far on how to do this? Okay. So this information right here is all going to come from your research, okay? When you go through and you power up, right? You can look at words like, is there, can we power up the word weak? Can we use a better term that anchors the frustration in their minds? Right? This is, have you guys heard of future pacing? When we're talking about, we're future pacing them in two ways when we're using it listings, right? So the first way we're future pacing them is the other product is going to fail. Future pacing, the other products will fail you, okay? Disappoint you. Okay. And the second way we're going to future pace, and that means implanting their outcome in their mind so that they purchase your product. Okay. So it's kind of like when you daydream and you think about, oh, this amazing thing could happen, right? And your brain thinks that it's true temporarily. That's what we're doing when we're future pacing. We're telling them about their future if they get this product. We're telling them about their future if they get another product, right? So the other way we're future pacing is by painting a story of their outcome with our product, right? So how is the other product going to fail you? How is our product going to satisfy you, right? So let's see here. So we have these with some products you want to do, and I'll do another example here. So this is let's go back one. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to do it up here. Okay, let's go back one. So this is a superiority summary bullet point. Okay, this is another one to use. We most frequently use these when we have a product that we have to juxtaposition, but there's one or two major problems with every other product out there, and it can be the same. I mean, you remember that when we're superiority positioning, we're hand picking things that other products may already have. Okay, and we're giving them a hypnotic anchor, or we are saying them differently in a way that resonates more with the customer's mind. Okay, so if you do a superiority summary bullet point for your first bullet point, okay, you're looking at something like, give me just a second here. Like for supplements, right? We don't necessarily have to juxtaposition against other products. We have to resonate that they understand what they're going through. Okay. So you wouldn't use a superiority summary bullet point with something like an electronic usually. You'd use it when someone's actually facing things that they're experiencing, right? That is fine. Thank you. I need you to lock the door and I need you to go out and pull it shut, please. I need you to remember Mommy is teaching a class right now. No, you need to go out. Hold on for just a second here.
Wait, can I please use your dog?
No, you need to go out.
I want to do a magic trick. A magic trick.
I need you to go out, honey. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so if we're talking about, we have this other anchor here, so we'll move this down. It doesn't get too confusing. Okay, superiority, summary bullet point. Okay, another way that you can start your bullet point for your first bullet point is to talk about the problem they're experiencing as though They're short, succinct questions. And you've probably seen this. So you have like sore back, like you're gonna want to rearrange these so it sounds correct. Neck pain, sore back, can't comfortably. Hold on for just a second. Okay, so right now I want everybody to try to think of like just write it down. I have to step away for just a second. Try to think of like a physical problem that you're experiencing and write down 3 questions that would describe it. I will be right back. Okay, let's go. Come on.
I wanna.
No, you're not going to be able to be in class today. I really need to focus on you. Come on. Honey, if you need something, just knock. You can jump up. Okay, door's locked. That should not continue happening. He's just so curious and he wants to be in the class with us, which is super cute, but also he has a lot of questions. He hasn't taken the first 5 weeks of class. Okay, let's see here. Make sure that I'm unmuted still. Awesome. Okay, so do you guys want to share what you came up with if you're thinking about something like a painful situation or a frustrating situation that's a health type situation? Because this falls underneath the category of like supplements, health aids, things like that, right? Or even like hearing aids. If you have Bluetooth hearing aids, it would fall underneath a category like that. Don't be shy. Anybody want to share? No? Okay. Okay, so we had neck pain, sore back, can't comfortably sleep at night, right? So this is kind of the lead-in, but you always want to have the hook and the hypnotic anchor in front of it, right? Sometimes your hypnotic anchor won't come to you until you have already written it. So you can just leave a space for it, right? Sometimes your hook won't come to you. For some people, it's easier to write this and then go back and insert hooks and hypnotic anchors, right? So then you would say, let's see here. Kind of the same thing. Brand names, hypnotic anchor technology, right? Deliver, let's see here. You can say study backed. No, let's go with this. Let's go with this. Leverages the power of. Leverages only pure, potent, powerful. XYZ. So it could be like ingredient. Let's do something like leverages only study backed. Only the most studied ingredients. A lot of times do a whole different bullet point about purity, potency, and power, okay? Okay, so if you're dealing with something where, like a supplement, right, and you can't really make a claim about the ingredients, you can say they were studied. You can point to studies, okay? So this should be a different idea of like a summary bullet point lead-in if you're looking at something like, and it varies so much with these particular products, but I'm trying to do something generic like a back pain supplement, right? So let's do it from like a back pain supplement. So neck pain, sore back, can't comfortably sleep, brain, it's originally the most studied ingredients to to promote. Okay. We can get rid of that for right now. Okay, so there are many different ways to lead in, but this right here is this lead in is pain a pain problem lead in, right? So then you have like pain point question mark, pain point question mark, pain point question mark. Okay, so with let's see, we had another hypnotic anchor. So then when you're doing bullet points, you want to order them, the next three things, in the order of importance. And the order of importance is usually it's usually determined by how frequently it shows up, mixed with things the product has that other products don't have, right? So there's a lot of people out there. There's two different kind of frames of thought on how you can organize your bullet points, right? Some people say one feature per bullet point, right? We don't actually do it that way most of the time, okay? Because we focus on the outcomes. So if you think of what outcome do they want and which features deliver that, okay? What outcome do they want, right? And then which features deliver that? This is called pairing features. Okay, you can also do it. So if you have, let's see here, like if they have one feature that delivers multiple outcomes, okay, you can do like outcome feature, how that one feature delivers it. Okay, and then just replicate that. Okay, so there's a couple different options. So this is for, give me a second here. I'm trying to figure out how to organize this so you guys can go back and like see it and it makes sense later. So if you, let's see here. So this is option bullet point option 1. Okay. Welcome. They want what features deliver that. So multiple features. Okay. Or there's bullet point option number 2. Okay. And that is outcome feature. So this is going to be single outcome, 1 to 2 outcome. Okay. 1 to 2 outcome. 1 to 2 outcome. And I'll show you what I mean by this in just a second. This is going to be, let's see here, 1 to 2 outcome, and this is single feature. Okay. Let's see here. This is multiple features. Multiple features. And you can intermix these too. Okay, so you can have a multiple feature, single feature, multiple features, right? The idea is it's the best way to get everything in that someone would need to see. Okay. In order to purchase the product. So signature house. Okay. One feature delivers one outcome. And the reason to use this one is using you have one feature that delivers multiple outcomes. You can break each outcome down into 1 to 2 per bullet point. Okay, then hit why the feature is so awesome heavily. Okay, because when you only have 1 or 2 features, and you're competing against people who have multiple features, a lot of times, like it's harder to sell. Okay, so if everybody's saying we get you this outcome, right? But then they only have 1 feature, like one part of the supplement that does that, versus someone who has, even one portion, like one hypnotic anchor in the earphone that does that, versus a competitor who gives you that outcome and they have one thing in there that does it, like one feature that delivers that, plus they have another feature that delivers it in a different way, or in combination with, plus another feature that delivers it in a different way, right? So it's called feature stacking. Okay, you can also do benefit stacking. Feature, I feel like I spelled that wrong. Nope, I didn't. Okay. So an example of this, let's see here. Bullet point. This is for a second bullet point. Oops, no, it's not. Hold on for a second. Sorry. This is much easier for me to do than it is for me to teach. Okay, so bullet point option 1, and this is for bullet points 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4. Okay. Bullet points 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So if you're going to do something like this, right? If we have Bluetooth headphones, we can break it down to, let's see here. I don't want those in there right now. Hold on for a second. Bullet point number 5. I'm going to copy this down here. Okay, I'll fix this. I'll go back and fix class notes in a minute because otherwise I'm going to spend all day reorganizing the class notes, and I want to teach you guys this. So you can do like a hook and an eye catcher, right? So if you have bullet point number 2, you're looking at, for Bluetooth technology, we'd already done advanced sound tunnel. Okay, so we'd gone through and done Sound Boost XL. Did we have a sound tunnel one? No, we were still working that. Okay, so advanced sound tunnel, right? So we were talking about, that's right, last one was talking about clarity and connectivity. We know what our trust one is already going to be about. It's always about the guarantee, or about, even if you don't use the word guarantee because some people aren't comfortable with that, you can talk about your long track record. You can talk about how you use factories that only have quality products, things like that. So for this one, for bullet point number 2, let's say that we had found out that the second most important thing that they wanted to know about, besides can they trust this, and I made a list up here earlier. Let's see here, base clarity trouble. Okay, we already did that. They care about connectivity. We didn't talk about connectivity. Okay, so let's talk about connectivity next. Okay, so at a very basic level, we know that they want, so what do they want? They want the earbuds to stay connected. The big one that came up with this was, how far away will they stay connected? Let's say 400 feet. We're just throwing something out there. So for something like this, we would do something like, okay, 400 foot. Let's see here. You start off with words like solid, okay? And then you're going to want to think of a way to better describe the word solid. So if you are, let's see here, if you think of it like a line, right? So it's like copper connectivity comes to mind. You're thinking about a line that's directly between whatever device they have the Bluetooth earbuds on, directly to your ears, right? So you could call it, let's see here. You also want to make sure it's relevant. So words that are coming to mind is like Alexander Graham Bell, right? He was the one who got the telephone systems up and running in the US. Other things, and again, sales copywriting is a lot of thinking. This is not just all stuff that's just in your head, right? You can revisit your, you can go look at competitors, and your brain will juxtaposition against that and come up with ideas that way. You can go revisit your spreadsheet, right? For your, hot button research spreadsheet, right? So you're going to want to go back and eventually, look at like solid connectivity and like change this word to something more powerful, right? So when you are doing this, and what I do is it just like, I have most of these memorized, so it just busts out of my head, right? I look at the brief, I look at the notes, and then I go through and the stuff, just like I start organizing it, and then it starts coming out as sales copy onto the paper, because I've been doing this since I was about 6 years old. Okay, so I've got like 34 years of experience writing persuasive things, right? Like over 10 years in my own business doing it. So hold on for just a second. Try to think of a different word than solid. What other word could you use besides solid for talking about the connectivity for Bluetooth earbuds? You can go to a thesaurus. You can go look at Amazon.
Stable, but I'm not sure that that's a stronger word.
No, but that's even if any words you get, you want to write down, okay? And just use, you just do it like that, okay?
Reliable?
Reliable. These are all things we want them to understand, but we want a stronger word, right? So yes, that's right. We'd write that down too. My husband says dependable. Very good, Mark. Okay, let's see here. So if we look at solid, I think stable, right? Let's go to stable synonyms. English, yes, in English. Solid, steady, secure, fixed, strong. Fixed might be good.
Connectivity.
Rock hard?
Yep, rock hard, rock stable. I could do that. We're brainstorming. This is how it works. It's not rickety. It's not sensible, sober, generous, matter of fact, composed, all here, unstable, unbalanced. Okay. Secure, fixed, strong, fast, stout. You're safe, moored, anchored. We could use anchored. What is that noise?
Static.
Static. Definitely not static. For what? I'll talk to you about it afterwards. I have no idea. Here, so we said stable, we said steady, we said, what else do we have? Oh, there's our bullet points. Jumping around here all over the place. Reliable, rock hard. Let's look at reliable. How about steadfast? Okay, so that's a strong word. Rock hard is a strong word. Rock solid, right? Anytime we can use something that's kinesthetic, so something that is physical, tangible, touchable, or emotional, that's always really helpful. Okay, do you guys hear that weird noise? My computer's suddenly making weird noise.
It sounds like it's an incoming message or something.
I don't know what is going on. Okay.
I'm taking Keegan for a while.
That is very nice of you. Okay, so then what you would do after that is like, okay, great. I've got some ideas for my lead and I've got some ideas for my hook. Okay. So you can go into the only, you can also use this, the only bullet point. I'll put this over here in your notes too. You can use the only bullet point for superior, like a lead in for superior positioning, right? So we look at where do we put our lead ins? Lead in, lead in, lead in, lead in. That's right. There you go. The only. See bullet point templates. Okay, that's a great one. If it really truly has, like one, use it for really high competition. And two, if it really truly has a feature that is the only one or an outcome that is the only one, you can say that, but you can also say it if you're the only one with hypnotic anchor technology, right? Like you can say the only, let's see here, the only Bluetooth earbuds with Sound Boost XL technology, right? The only Bluetooth earbuds with Hoover Vortex technology. The only, Bluetooth earbuds with, what was our other one? Clarity Suite 3.0, right? So you can say the only. So if we go over to our bullet points, we're looking at our second bullet point. We know we need it to be about connectivity, right? We know the questions we're answering. Okay, so the questions we're answering are, let's see, not our, are. Okay, so what do they want? They want the earbuds to stay connected, okay? How far will they stay connected? 400 feet. Okay, so 400 feet, you say steadfast connectivity, rock solid connectivity, reliable. So here's, you can play with that. Then go over to your bullet point templates, okay? They're right here. Okay. Like anchor. You did that. If you have reviews, you could use a customer say one here. Customers say our Bluetooth headphones are amazing, are the best, are ideal for whatever purpose, because then insert the technology. The ones I'm most likely to use for bullet point number 2 is the lead-in of don't. Okay, this one right here. So don't hide your beauty, don't settle for, don't. Okay. We're use the more. Nope, that wouldn't work for that. There's no secret in here, like no Egyptian secret. There's no Scandinavian secrets. A really good one for this particular case would be what is it or how it works. Okay. Or plug and play simple. Okay, so let's go with this one. I'll just copy it over here. This is how you can write your listings. Okay. So make it about plug and play simple. Let's see here. Don't stay tethered to a tiny space just to enjoy your jams. And then you'd say, let's see here. You use a hypnotic anchor. You can say, let's see here. Brand. Oh, no, that's not good. I got to go back to where I was. Hold on. Brand names. Brand name leverages the power of air, heather, technology. Okay, there's another hypnotic anchor right there. To maintain an invisible, let's see here. Don't say invisible, say unbreakable, digital wave cord between your earbuds and your device, something like that. Okay. So, and plug and play simple used for another one. Let's see here. But see how one sparks, like you look at it and it kind of sparks off another thing, right? So, this one would be about instant connection, plug and play simple. Okay. This is going to be a whole different bullet point. Okay, so I'll stay reliable. Okay, so you know that you have your, feature, you have your outcome. Okay, you can do outcome feature, you can do feature outcome. Honestly, there's not a huge difference unless the outcome is something that's really, really emotional to that person. Okay, don't stay tethered to a tiny space just to enjoy your jams. Brand name leverages the power of air tether technology to maintain an unbreakable digital wave cord between your earbuds and your device. Okay, so we're going to go back through and do that in a little while. Okay, so then when we go through and we do is just one, you do the shortened version. Okay, you're going to shorten it. Okay, so let's see here. So you can say air tether technology maintains unbreakable digital cord between your earbuds and your device. So you're not tethered to a tiny space. Okay. So this one is only a little bit shorter than this one. Okay. And again, you're going to want to go through and power these up, right? Steadfast connectivity, rock solid connectivity. You can even say put your hypnotic anchor here, air tether technology. Do 400 feet connectivity. So you're just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth between your bullets, right? And the bullets are the hardest to write. Of bullet 1. Okay. You could even cut this out if you have to go really short, but then you'll notice that there's no keyword in this bullet point. Okay. So let's see here. And I really again, the keywords in the bullet points are not nearly as big of a deal as the keywords that go into your title and your description. The bullet points have almost no weight, but it's good to try to fit a few in there anyways. And then every month go back, look at your clients' keywords and their sales based on keywords, and then reintegrate those keywords so they're saving money on their Amazon advertising. Okay. Let's see here. So you can go through and say, take this one. Okay, to the Berkeley Digital Coaching earbuds. So we can say Airtel Technology, don't lose here, don't settle for shaky sound, right? You can go through, and that's just another lead in. You can go through and you can say, stop missing your favorite tunes. Okay. You can go through here and say Air Technology, the only, you can combine them too. No, you don't want to use that one. 1 second here. So just go back and you can look at your same lead-ins from before and use one you haven't used in the next one, okay? The other thing that you can do is use transition statements, okay? So these are the most convincing transition statements. So you can, okay. So we're going to practice transition statements on this one. Okay, so you can, because we talked about lead-ins, and we're going to talk about transition statements. Okay, so if we want to write a transition statement for this one, we would say, where do we have this? Let's move that out of the way here. Okay, so I'm talking to myself. I'm like thinking out loud. Okay. So instead of doing it that way, you could say Airtel Technology maintains an unbreakable digital cord. So you can finally walk. So you can check off your to-do list without losing motivation, right? Without losing sound-induced motivation, okay? Let's see here. Let's use this one. And say, because Airtel Technology maintains an unbreakable digital cord between your earbuds and your device, can easily you constantly hear crystal clear sound. Let's see here. Get all the sound without staying stuck in one place. Okay, next one. If you go to the next transition, it is, oh, that needs to go down here. Okay, next transition, looking at, let's see here. This is the keyword to get if you want earth-shaking bass doesn't tie you to your chair, car, or computer, something like that, right? Okay, so you would just list the outcomes, right? Okay, so, and these are just, I'm guessing on these because I don't have it right in front of me. Like, people weren't saying where exactly they were using them. You could, if these are, a lot of times we position things like this for the gym. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I forgot one part of this. Unbreakable cord. Cord means. Okay, so those you can just go through and practice transitions. Okay. Bullet point number 3, same thing. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing. So for this one, we're talking about, and for some reason that is not in the right font. That will drive me crazy. Okay, so you got your third bullet. Okay, so now we're looking at instant connection. When we're powering up anything like instant, that's great. We want to give it a time. Okay, so if we say 1 second connection, okay, plug and play simple. Let's see here. Let's see here. 1 second connection, plug and play simple. Turn on your Bluetooth. Select the brand name, keyword, right? So like cool guys, earbuds with Bluetooth, okay? And click. You're pumping out body move. Let's see here. You could say something quirky here, like, because life is about tunes. It's about tunes, not messing with your okay, because you deserve to get moving, not mess with your device. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's see here. Do the same thing. You have 1 second connection, plug and play simple. Great. You can change these, plug and play simple. Let's see here. You can use a different lead in. You can create a new technology. You can do something like one-click BT technology means this is the ideal keyword to get. You want to get moving out for a run. Let's see here. I'm thinking. If you want to get moving, I guess you can do the same thing. Not mess here. Not waste time. Okay. And if this was something like, if we knew it was for a specific thing, like for gyms, you could say something like for gym time, right? Not waste time messing with your device. Okay. Okay, so we can go to bullet point 4. Okay. So bullet point 4 could be about, let's see, we've already covered how quickly it connects, how easy it is to connect, how far it connects. We covered why it's superior. Okay, we covered clarity. We covered, what else can we cover here?
We have to cover the battery life also.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
The battery.
Go back 3.
How long the battery lasts?
I'm so sorry. It's really scratchy. I'm having a hard time hearing. Can you type it in the text, and I'll go look at it, and then I can read it out loud if I need to. Let's see here. Okay, so bullet point 4 is often the one where we use like people who purchased a like product before and it's failed, right? Okay, so 2 things for bullet point number 4. Okay, since we've already talked about how easily can I make it work, would be a knockoff bullet point, or you could do a jaded customer bullet point, right? So let's copy these 2 over real quick. Nope, wrong one. Point number 4, okay. Knockoff or jaded customer, okay? With the knockoff bullet point, quality, okay? This could also be bullet point. We talked about like waterproof, right? Like applicable uses, where can it get damaged, waterproof. The knockoff bullet point is about demonstrating quality. It's about demonstrating, you can use it when you're trying to demonstrate like superior positioning in terms of the materials you've used. Right? You can use it for, I'm trying to think of other cases in which I use it. When others' products are far cheaper. Okay, so you're competing with somebody who's making a product in, you know, anywhere in the world. Honestly, it used to just be China, but now it's everywhere. And they're able to, it's a factory direct and they're selling it for like $5, and you know it's not going to be a good product, or you know that it might be an okay product, but you know that they're going to be able to beat you on price, and people may go towards them because of price, right? For the knockoff bullet point, let me stick it here. I don't need that to say right there. Okay, for a knockoff bullet point, like you can do something like this will cost you more. You can say something like, let's see here. Those are going to be examples. Okay, so to your customer knockoff, it can also be or durability. Okay. Quick note on durability. If your product, if the use of the product requires superior durability, a car part, or you're using something outside, like outdoor, gardening equipment, you're going to want to have that in bullet point number 2, not in bullet point number 4. Okay. So if that's one of the main selling points about your product is it's very durable, like an exercise band, for example, as opposed to, like people want to know that it's high quality and durability, where you can put it in bullet point 4. It's just a confirmation. Okay. Then you want to put it in bullet point number 2. So I'm going to write that out real quick. Point 2, if durability is required to use the product. This is going to be for indoor, outdoor, exercise equipment. Not indoor, outdoor. It's going to be for a lot of times for kids products. Okay. Exercise equipment. Let's see. Yard tools, things like that. Okay. Anything where something is really like you're going to be really hard on it and it's going to break if you're hard on it. You want durability. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, you can use it in bullet point number 4 and frame it as, don't buy knockoffs or for jaded customers. So for this particular product, it's really tricky because I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like what most people making Bluetooth earbuds, unless you go to the dollar store and get them, most people on Amazon who are at the top of Amazon aren't making cheap earbuds. They're all high tech, high quality. So for this one, we have to think really, really strategically and really, really hard about exactly what we want to say for bullet point number 4. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, that's another jaded customers one. Okay. Okay, buying knockoffs. So don't waste money on knockoffs. Okay, you could go with this route. You could say, I don't want to say tank durable because that's a claim and they might try to roll over it with a tank or a truck or something. And earbuds are not necessarily, you can even just do something like IP7 waterproof. Okay, don't waste money on knockoffs. Okay, so you can say knock off and then keyword. Okay, so then you just go back and you say, let's see here. Let's see here. The more you use, we're going to use an NLP transition here. That's not even in the book. The more you use, or on your templates, these keyword, the more you'll appreciate. Drop them. Lose them in your bag. We want to say lose them. Drop them. Step on them. Drop them. Some of them. No. Drop them. Toss them in your bag. Or accidentally sit on them. Or accidentally sweat on them. Okay, drop them. Toss your bag. Accidentally. Okay. Give me a second here. Would you guys agree with me that writing bullet points is like the hardest thing because you have to keep it so succinct and you only have 5 spaces to do it? Sometimes you have 10, but this is like the trickiest thing because people they read your bullet points not only on their images, but they read your bullet points in your listing, and all of this stuff is going to need to translate down to your A+ section, right? Or your description section. So they have to read anyway, right? So if they're on their computer, this is one of the first things they see. So you want to grab their attention with your bullet points, obviously, but it's also really tricky to try to say things in a really succinct manner, right? So let's see here. So drop them, toss them in your bag. What else do people do with earbuds? They drop them by accident, right? Okay, great. They toss them in their bag, like their gym bag. Gym bag, right? We can just say bag instead of gym bag. Or accidentally sweat on them. The more, let's see here, the more you use these keywords, the more you appreciate. Need to get rid of this. Engineered. Ooh, how about that? Keywords boast a like anchor exterior layer. Keywords anchor exterior layer ensures internal components. Let's see here. Micro welding and say tank tough external layer. We don't want to say tank tough, but that's what's coming to mind. So we'll go back and change that. Okay. Tank tough external layer ensures your earbuds retain peak performance. Even, I'm going to get rid of this one. We're just going to do that. Even, I'm going to change it to see here. To retain peak performance, even if you drop them, sit on them, or toss them into your bag. Obviously, don't say this if it's not true, okay? You can say not cheap knockoffs here. Okay. Then you're going to want to go through and power this up 5 times like we did before. Now, the power up process, I feel like I've kind of jumped around a lot. So the power up process has 2 points, right? So when you power up, you're looking for cutting it down, okay? And you're looking for better words, right? So ultra durable, people know what ultra durable is, and a lot of people know what IP7 waterproof is. They at least know what waterproof is, okay? Usually when we're talking about IP7 waterproof, we want to indicate whether or not it's sweat proof or it's how many meters, right? How many meters? IP7 waterproof. Right, or can they just use it in the shower? IP68 under, let's just say 2 meters, okay? So we can even use things like that. We always want to, if we can use engineering things, we can say something like 2 meters. And I saw that was IP, 68, 2 meters, 30 minutes. Okay, and you can just have that bullet point be about being IP7 waterproof, right? Microwave peak forms, even if you drop them, sweat on them, or accident, or let's see here, get them wet. Okay. Or go running in the rain. Okay. Anytime you have an electronic, and I know that you'd asked about electronic products, anytime you have an electronic product, the more numbers that you can use to grab people's attention, the better. Okay, so we have 2 meters, 30 minutes, because people are looking at the feature specs, right? Let's see here. We have 1 second connection. Okay, so we have another number right there. We have 400 feet connectivity. Okay. You want to use as many numbers as possible because for some reason, numbers, and we know why. I mean, I can explain why psychologically, but numbers, the human brain sees numbers and high-tech products as being connected. And so if you're just talking about the outcomes without talking about the numbers, and everybody else is talking about the numbers, you're not going to be able to compete, right? And also, if you have a number, let's say that you have these amazing Bluetooth earbuds, but they literally only go 40 feet from your device, right? You're going to have to overcome that if somebody else says, we have, ours go 400 feet. You do something like, while these won't let you walk away from 400 feet, like, poor sound quality earbuds, right? You can even say that those earbuds, like, while these won't let you walk away 400 feet, like earbuds designed to listen to audiobooks and then do like not music in parentheses. These deliver the precise, crisp, clear, bass and treble you want, et cetera, et cetera. So let me put that in there too. We'll go back through that. So it's going to be bullet point number 5. I've got to remember what I was just saying too. Don't you love that? Okay. That's going to be about trust. Okay. And then we're going to do, let's do overcoming superior features. Okay. So if you can overcome superior features. We'll do that in just a minute. Why is this clear over here? So funny. Okay. So we'll go back to bullet point number 5, which is trust, guarantee, your guarantee, company longevity, company success. This is number of products. You can talk about the company's quickly becoming a household name in the field of whatever their category is, right? Okay. I'll go back to that in a second. So overcoming superior features, since we're already doing this, right? Let's say your product only reaches 40 feet, right? Their product reaches 400 feet. Okay. We need to educate the consumer. And this is one of the hardest things to do. So a lot of people are like, oh, hey, 40 feet, 400 feet. I can walk away 400 feet. That's a lot better. You can't walk away 400 feet, right? So what, and get the same sound quality as earbuds that are at 40 feet, okay? And let's say that that's true. I'm making this up. Let's say that that's true. What are some things, how can we hit the competition? Let's see here. How can we knock down the competition superiority, right? In electronics, this happens a lot because you realize like, okay, it's going to be $5 more per set $5 more per unit for me to create the ones that go 400 feet. Right. But I know that if most people only go 40 feet from their phone, most people are never more than 40 feet from their phone. Okay. From their cell phone. Most people use these with their cell phone. So you can focus on things like most people never go more than 40 feet from their cell phone anyway. Anyway, and that would look like you don't need those over padded 400-foot connectivity, monsters. And obviously go back and refine that. Okay. What's another one? We were saying that only great for ebooks, not superior sound quality. Great. So if you're only using them to listen to ebooks, those 400-foot, Bluetooth earbuds are a great option. However, if you're looking for, crisp, clear, body shaking, something like that. I'll write it out in just a second. Sorry, let's see here. Very good. Yeah, battery life and longevity, right? 30 hours standby time, 12 hours talk time. Yep, very good. That's a great one to hit. I didn't think of that one. Okay. Had I been actually looking at my notes, I probably would have, but thank you for saying that. Okay, so let's see here. We can go back and do one about talk time, right? And we can even combine them. Talk time and trust, okay? Or talk time and something else. And combine with last feature. But you can do that for the second most important feature. Example, talk time and trust. Okay, I'm going to jump back real quick to overcoming superior features. Okay, so if you have, and this is a big one, these are objections, right? So you're overcoming superior features. A lot of times this is the same thing as overcoming. We're going to do another one. Hold on for a second. Price objections. Let's do something on overcoming price objections because that's important too. 2 big parts of sales copy. Overcoming competitors. Let's see here. I was going to go into a lot of this in a future module, but for some reason right now it feels like it fits. So we're going to do it right now. Okay, so we can say that, you don't really need all that, okay? You don't really need all that. Why pay more? Okay. That type of thing. And then you can say, it doesn't, it sounds great, but only if you're using XYZ product for, right? Like for ebooks, okay? So let's see here. We can say something like 400 feet. The product reaches 400 feet. Product reaches 30 feet. Okay. So no fake benefits. You can always say no fake benefits, okay? So you can say 400 feet versus 40 feet, right? Sure. Their keyword, so you can say headphones, reaches 400 feet, which is great if you're just listening. Again, just get it out and then revise it, okay? If you're just listening to ebooks. However, if you want superior booming bass, etc., etc., our earbuds have zero competition. Okay. Okay, so you can say something like that. Sure, the keyword reaches 400 feet, which is great if you're just listening to ebooks. Great for ebooks. Awful for sound. Why is that telling me reach? Oh, double plural. Reaches 400 feet. Great for ebooks, awful for sound. Sure, the keywords for is our sound. Let's see here. Something like, why sacrifice sound? You can see here. My feet was 40. Sure, the keyword is 40 feet. Great for ebooks. Oh, that's what their 400-foot keyword range is great for audiobooks. What about sound? You can say brand names. And again, you can put in, one of your technologies here, like sound funnel technology allows you to, let's see here, delivers crystal clarity at every turn. At the distance, most people, let's see, every turn, the furthest most people usually walk away from the phone. People usually walk away from their phone anyways, because you don't need more than 40 feet, right? Something like that. I heard the ding. Just give me a second. Let's see here. Okay. Going back to look at the... Okay. Let's see here. A message. Okay. Just look at really circle. Probably cool. We'll get customer. Okay. Don't worry, Bilal. I'll share it with you as soon as I get it done, okay? And this time I'll try to make sure that it's not the wrong link in, like the link to the screencastify. I'll try to make sure it's the link to Google Drive. It just takes a while for it to render. I apologize. I hope you feel better. Okay, so where were we? Jumping over to week 6. Okay, so again, overcoming superior benefits, right? What you want to do, like your competitor's superior features or their superior benefits, right? You want to work on looking at what can we do to say that doesn't really matter. Determine why it doesn't really matter. And remember, there are always going to be people who think that 400 feet is better than 40 feet in every single situation. There are always going to be people who think that they need to have Bluetooth earbuds that run for 55 hours, and they don't. No one's awake that long, right? So, and we've run into this. And so those people will buy the other product, and that's what they think is superior. You can't get everybody. But if you don't look at what your competitors are doing, and you don't look at how to educate the consumer on why that's really not important, and maybe it is super important to them, but why it's really not important, then your consumer won't know. Your potential customer won't know. So it's really important to tell them, right? I think I'm going to add this one to our bullet point templates. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Okay, overcoming price objections. Let's get into that. This is also a really hard one. This is for any product that is selling up to 25% above the median when examining similar products, okay? Hold on, I'm going to go check that again real quick. Where'd it go? Okay, very cool. Okay, so we're right here. So every single human being, when they go shopping for something that's a general item, okay, has a specific price point in their head. Like they believe it should cost less than $15 for a spatula. And then there's the group of people who won't spend less than $15 for a spatula, right? So pricing objections are something that comes up a lot. And so with every single product that we write about, we want to make sure we are looking at what the pricing objections might be, right? Hold on for a second. Back and show Aquabliss. I want to show you guys a thing I did with Aquabliss for that. Just popped in my mind. So when you're looking at pricing objections, you can do things. You can come right out and say something like, not the cheapest, just the best. Okay. Like we realized you can get other, we realized those dollar store earbuds might look mighty appealing when you're on a budget. However, we engineers poured however, they won't deliver you the, outcome. Go back to outcomes over and over again. Outcome you want. Outcome that are $1 million investment into advanced R&D. Something like that, okay? So you can just start with not the cheapest, just the best. And you want to go through and define why it's the best, right? And we do this even with products that cost the same to make at a factory. Someone might be selling it for $15, someone else is selling it for $22, right? The reason you can sell a product for $22 instead of $15, an identical product, is sales copy. It's about positioning, and the sales copy you place on the images and the images you use, right? How are they anchoring the emotion and the experience that the customer wants to feel, right? Because people aren't actually ever buying a product; they're buying a feeling. Okay, they can find there's like a million ways to solve every single problem. So they're buying a feeling. They're buying the feeling of like that problem already being solved. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to negative, not negative. Competitors bad, and you're good. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. How else can we do this? Pricing objections. You can lead in with a feature or a product that's more expensive, right? I'm sorry, feature or an outcome that's more expensive to achieve, right? So if you're looking at, let's say you're looking at like, let's see, how would you do Bluetooth headphones? With Bluetooth headphones, you justify it with technology. We've already justified it with technology. With something like I'm trying to think of what they're called. They fix your back. You lay on top of them. It's like a back adjuster. Okay. So something like a back adjuster, you could say something like holds 400 pounds, right? And those are just the weird things that you lay on top of to realign your back adjuster liner. I'm trying to think of a good example, right? Okay. Holds 400 pounds. So you can go through and say which features, what actually makes it cost more. Okay, so we had to use, if it's holding 400 pounds and another one holds 150, you have to use a lot thicker materials. Use more material, more durable material, right? Things like that. And I think, let's see here. For overcoming price objections, it's always going to be about quality and durability, okay? And those are usually your second, third, or fourth bullet points. If you have a really high price, okay. So let's go over here real quick. So I want to show you guys this anyway. Amazon.com. Let's go to Aquabliss. Shower filter. And let's see here. Body La Vida. Multi-stage. Revitalizing. Okay, let's go to revitalizing. And this one is just a shower filter, okay? This shower filter is $34.86. If we go down here, let's see here. Those are the bundles. Let's see here. Okay, we've got a lot of people who are competing with them, right? And we've got a lot of people like this, right, who are charging like $24.99 for their high output shower filter. Okay, so with Aquabliss, here is how we justified it. Okay, we talked about how many cents it is per day. You can talk about how many dollars it is per day. Even if this just lasts you a year, it's really, isn't it worth 9 cents a day to have, glowing skin and shiny hair? Isn't it worth just 10 cents a day? Because you can break it up over 365 days, right? So that's another way you can do that. Okay, let's see here. Bullet points, go here, right? So there's another way to do it. I'm going to put this right here and change all the fontiness in it. And as you can see, like when I first started working with these guys, they had really short bullet points and they liked really short bullet points. And then we did split testing and showed them, hey, your customers, look how long this bullet point is, you guys. This listing here converts at like 30 something to 40 something percent on each keyword. Okay. So look at the length of these bullet points. So if anybody ever tells you, oh, people don't read bullet points and it's not helping, that the images we'd already locked in. Okay. The images are great. The title we tweaked a little bit, right? And the bullet points, we rewrote the bullet points. Okay. And if you look down here, like this is just a copy of a lot of the bullet points, right? So when we put in the bullet points, that's before they had A+ EBC on their listing. It jumped dramatically at more than it more than doubled their conversions. And they already had the images. Okay. And I went through and rearranged the images later, but we doubled conversions up to I want to say 37%. To 40 something percent based on the keyword, right? Just by changing the bullet points. Okay. So if you think that long bullet points don't work, this is a great example of why they work. This is, if you think if someone tells you they don't work, go check out AquaBliss, their 12-stage shower filter. The other thing is like when you're talking about, this was another great example of when, we were looking at overcoming, the competitor superior features. Okay. So for a while there, everybody in the space was talking about how they had a certain stage filter. Okay. I don't know. My kids have been using my Amazon thing. Clearly. I don't know how to make all that go away. Sorry. So when we were talking about superior features, right? We had to overcome, a lot of different things. Like for AquaBliss, we had to overcome on several of their listings. They only had a 12-stage filter. Okay. So we did things like, where is it? It's what's inside that counts, right? That's a great thing to use for, give me a second here. Okay. It's what's inside that counts. Okay. And this is a comparison between, you and your competition, right? Or between your client and their competition, right? And so you could take something like this, which we have in here, right, on the bullet points. Not even 2 15-stage cartridges are as powerful as AquaBliss SF100. Why do I keep clicking on that one? Let's make that go away. Not even 2 15-stage filters are as powerful as one AquaBliss, okay? So you can say, their 2 versus our 1 and do the exact same thing. Okay, so when you're trying to overcome superior features, these are great, lead-ins to use. You don't need to see AquaBliss there. Same thing. Okay, so let's see here. What makes it cost more? Use material, more durable. So this is the honesty approach. Okay. Here, we're going to go back. We're back to overcoming price objections. And thank you for letting me jump back to that. I wanted to show you guys that popped into my head. Let's see here. It's not advisable on Amazon to ever sell a product that's 25% above the median. Okay, the median price of like the top selling products, right? So if you have a supplement that, and we've done it, we've sold $100 supplements on Amazon that are superior, but Amazon is a comparison engine. I know it's a search engine, but it's mainly a comparison engine. So trying to get somebody to click on a listing that has a bottle of pills, right? It has a bottle of pills and it may look premium, but trying to get them to click on a listing for a bottle of pills that sells for $100 is really tricky when there's the ones next to it are all selling for $17, $18, $19, right? So there's only so far you can justify on Amazon unless you're using like I was talking about, a pre-sale funnel, right? You can sell on Amazon and use a pre-sale funnel and use Amazon just as your kind of like a 3PL. You can use them like, just to do fulfilled by Amazon, right? And you can use it to host your listing there, but not use sponsored advertisement and try to show up on the search results on page 1 for your keywords, right? So, so if you have somebody who comes to you and they have a ludicrous price for their product, you may want to ask them, have you ever considered a sales funnel? And I've done that with clients many, many times because we have, people have this perception that, oh, well, if this is selling on Amazon and my product is superior, I can sell it for this much more. But the consumers will only digest so much information in terms of superiority and they already go there with a preconceived notion of what it is that they want most of the time, right? So, sorry, pardon me. I should probably drink my coffee. That'd be beneficial. Shouldn't be complaining. Many of you were up really late right now doing this. So, you can go with not the cheapest. You can say cheapest versus best, right? You can go with what actually makes it cost more. You can do a price breakdown on whatever makes sense. Okay. So like you can do a weekly or yearly, okay, or daily. So if it is a supplement, you'd obviously want to use daily. Okay. If it's something they're using like towels, you'd want to do weekly. And if it's something that they're going to use a long time, do yearly. You can also do lifetime value, but it's really hard to determine somebody's life. So, it's hard to do this. But at 9 cents a day, like most people will spend 10 cents a day, 9 cents a day, to improve their health. Okay. So for less than $1 a day, things like that. Okay. Let's see here. Quality, durability, second, third, fourth bullet points. We already talked about that. Future pacing. So we talked about future pacing in terms of future pacing the negative. So how the competitor's product will leave them wanting versus how your product will make them happy. Okay, so for something like this, and you've seen me use this before, I'm not sure if it's in the bullet point template. Let me see if it's in here. Control find. I might have to add this. Nope. Didn't put it in this one because that was a freebie from another thing. I have like 3 more I need to add there for you guys. Right? And I might not use this as a freebie anymore. I think I'm going to sell this. I think I'm going to start selling this again. Why not? Okay. No one else has access to it right now anyway. Let's see here. How the competitors' products will leave them wanting. Okay. Just imagine. Okay. So this is a lead-in. It's a lead-in of just imagine, right? And that's for the positive. You can think of it as positive and negative if you want. So this is like bad, right? And this is happy. Maybe sad is better. Helps if I can actually type. Okay, so just imagine your silky soft hair falling over your shoulders. Imagine the compliments you'll receive from you-know-who as your silky soft hair falls over your shoulders. Something like that. So what you want to do for this, for future pacing, right, is how will what scene in their mind will they experience when they're let down? Okay. How have they been let down before? That comes to receive news. Just like so. Okay. And then for the happy one is same thing. What scene in their mind will they experience when they're happily using your products? Okay. What life events, nostalgic events, can we tie in? Okay, and these are just things like after you get your hook for your bullet point, if you want to use future pacing, it's always a good idea to use future pacing. You can definitely use that. Let me just a second here. Drink my coffee. Okay. Awesome. Oh, Ellie, sorry. What we really want to do is to educate people to get more value out of things we're selling. So we're serving more than selling. That is absolutely correct. The bullet points are definitely about education. You're definitely serving instead of selling, and we're definitely working as therapists instead of salespeople, right? So we're literally trying to solve their problem and make them happy and help them not feel sad, right? That's why we started with the emotion wheel. That's a really great way of saying it. Like you're serving, not selling. That's great, Ellie. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see here. So say future pacing. What seems I'm really experienced after using the products? Hair products are easy for this. What about earbuds? Okay, let's do. Oh, again. Yay! Okay, so just imagine the whole world. Just imagine how blissfully you'll run. Let's say these are people buying them, for working out. Just imagine how blissful you'll feel as the whole world disappears and your workout is over in no time, right? Just imagine how motivated you'll feel. Motivated you'll feel as your when your tunes become dominant focus of your grueling workout. Suddenly it's over in no time. Suddenly it's over in no time. Okay, so there's a really when I started using this originally, it was back in like 2011. Okay. And when we started using this, it was when Amazon was not nearly as saturated, and it might have been closer to 2014. I started using these in sales copy in 2011. 2014 is probably closer. And we used them on I don't even know if they're still on Amazon. I know that they sold the company. Let's see, let's go to another one. See here. Oh, I'm trying to think of who it was. I know that they sold the company. I work with them at another company now, so I'm trying to think of who it was and if they're still up. But we started using this with a camera, right? And we were competing against Canon and Polaroid and like all these major companies, and people like back in 2014, 2015, people weren't actually sourcing these expensive electronics, but these guys wanted to do this. And so they launched this and they did exceptionally well. And a lot of it was because of the way that we painted the picture. They were still charging as much for their cameras as Canon was charging and Polaroid was charging. And they were a new guy to the market. And if anybody has ever tried to sell expensive name brand electronics that are not name brand, that are the same price as the name brand, it's tricky, right? So that's when we started using this to paint that picture. And I was trying to think of, give me a second here. I was trying to think of exactly who it was, like what they changed their name to when they sold. But it's slipping my mind. Okay, so just imagine, okay, how, and then feeling they want to feel when outcome the product delivers, okay? Outcome they want. Let's just say outcome they want, okay? This is a really great succinct bullet point, okay? So you can go in and you can use these as templates as well and just go in and like, erase things and then put new things in. A lot of what I do with mine is like when I'm writing about a new product, right? I will go back and for some reason, my brain remembers like, oh, I remember I wrote this product, and this product for this brand, and this brand. And I'll go back and look at the work that I've done and get inspiration from it. Because sometimes you'll do this thing, right? Where like you've got this right? You got this blank page staring you down. It's like it's looking at you and it's staring you down, right? And like you don't know what to write. And it's like, okay, do I start with the title? No, I can't get anything for the title. Anything bullet points coming up? I'm having a mind block. La 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 la. If you go and you look at somebody else's product, especially when you've written, right? You'll be able to like, I love how everybody's doing that now. That was my idea. Like one of them was my idea. We did it a while ago. You'll be able to go and look and say, oh, okay, well, how are they, what are other people doing? And get inspiration from that. So don't ever spend time staring at a blank page. Okay. The two rules are just start writing or go and look at someone else who's written. Go and look at somebody else's work. Okay. So just imagine how, I don't know if I can use the word sexy in here, how beautiful you'll feel walking past every mere just months after you've started using our workout equipment, okay? And again, that's weak, like whatever it is, like just say using brand name, product name with Hypnotic anchor technology, right? Things like that. Okay. The most important thing that knocks people off the fence, and this is the main reason why people go and look at bullet points. Anybody who says, oh, they don't look at bullet points, they don't look at bullet points. If they don't look at your bullet points in Amazon, they won't know what your guarantee is. You can't put it in A+, you can't put it in your title, and you can't put it on most of your images. Like you can put a guarantee seal on some of your images, but they don't want you to go out and spell out your guarantee on your images, okay? On your auxiliary images. So since you can't put it anyplace else and people know about the guarantee and people are making returns, we know they've read the bullet points. That's a big indicator right there, because people will come back and they will quote you your guarantee, okay? Let's see here. So, and that's just one of the things. Like Amazon's done mind mapping. They know what they read. They know what people read. And that's why Amazon has started increasing bullet points to 10 bullet points. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but the reason for the increase to 10 is because they know people are reading them. So that's how people who have better bullet points drive higher conversions, and Amazon wants people to drive higher conversions. So people are reading the bullet points. That's why Amazon is starting to give people 10 bullet points, right? There's a little bit of a difference in like some industrial fields for like industrial equipment, industrial parts. Not as much, but they're still reading the bullet points. The bullet points are a lot shorter. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we talked about positioning. I'm going to move this up so that we have it up by the positioning bullet point. Okay, and those are the basics and the advanced of bullet points. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. So now it's time for you to pelt me with questions if you have questions, or we can get off and you guys can practice, which you're welcome to do. I've been trying to make these more succinct so people have time to actually do the work. And then come back next week and go over it again for the first half of next week's class, because after you've got your bullet points down and after you've mastered bullet points, everything else is really, really, really easy. Really, really easy. This is the hardest, most challenging part of writing an Amazon listing. And so once you get this, you'll have your hypnotic anchor. You can use that in your title to grab attention. You can use that on your images. This helps outline what needs to be in your images. It kind of clarifies everything from your research. It gives you what to talk about in more depth in your A+, quote unquote, EBC section, right? So once these are done, this is the bulk of your listing. This takes the longest to write and it's the most tedious, and it's where you want to power it up and power it up and power it up and power it up, right? So like once you master this, we can spend this week and next week on this if we need to. We can spend lots of weeks on this because once you get this, everything else flows from it, right? So I have kind of like some kind of weird congestion thing. I feel like I sound funny or really intense, but I'm serious about bullet points. They're the hardest thing to do. And once you can master bullet points as a copywriter, all you need, like even if you go and you use these on sales pages, right? If you want to do sales page bullet points, which are a lot more, like usually they're more succinct than the ones on Amazon since we only get 5. All you have to do is figure out what your main hook is. And then you have a title, and once you have your bullet points, you have everything you need to create a sales page, right? A short sales page. And then you just expand upon what's in your bullet points, right? Same thing. Once you have your bullet points written, you know how to do your pre-sell. Yes, of course. Go ahead. You know how to do your pre-sell for like your pre-sell page so that you can rank on page 1, which is what everybody's using, your pre-sell pages, right? Not everybody's using them. Smart people are using pre-sale pages to rank on page 1 of Amazon because they can't afford that $4 and $5 a click, right? When they're first launching. So when you launch, you're using pre-sale pages. Once your bullet points are written, you have tidbits you can use. Once your bullet points are written, you have power copy you can pull out of them for your images. It simplifies, it makes the whole rest of the process really easy. Okay. So yes, definitely listen again and lock it in. The other thing that I wanted to go over is if you feel like you are stuck and you don't know what to write bullet points about, okay, there's one more trick that I'd love to show you guys. Okay, let's see here. Outcome, feature. Okay, we already talked about that. So you've got like your hook, okay, which is your hook, outcome, and then your feature. Sometimes our brains don't put things together if we don't have them written out first, okay? So go through and write a single bullet point for each outcome, okay? So you're going to do one outcome and link it to one feature. You're going to repeat that, okay? So step one, let's see here. Write a single bullet point for each outcome, okay? Do that. Step two, look for ways to combine them. Okay, so let's see here. When you're stuck on which bullet points to use, or not which bullet points, what to write in each bullet point. Okay, so if you get stuck on what to write in each bullet point, you already know, you've done your research, and you already know exactly what your consumers are looking for. But let's say maybe there's there's 10 things, okay, and you only have 5 bullet points. Some of us have 10. Then you can write out like you can instead of doing the combined, my brain automatically starts combining things. And when it doesn't, right? So if you're like, we have combined bullet points, we're talking about like the clarity, right? Pin drop quality. Okay. We're already talking about connected calls. We talked about music, and we combined a lot of things. Okay. So the simplest way to do this is write a single bullet for each outcome, right? And when you're first doing that, you don't have to make it sales copy, serving others. Yeah, okay. You can literally just write out like what do we have up here? Clarity Suite 3.0 delivers the clear, the crisp, unbreakable, crystal clear voice, quality that allows every word, that allows you to hear every word. Nothing is missed, right? So you can just do something like that, and that's even still sales copy. So you can do something like, let's see, Clarity Suite 3.0. Won't drop calls. You won't miss words, okay? You have to get organized, right? So get organized. Or when you're stuck. Won't drop calls, won't miss words. Okay, so this is our hypnotic anchor. What does it do? Won't drop calls, won't miss words. Okay, next thing is we had Sound XL something. Sound Boost XL. Okay, so we had Sound Boost XL. Okay, loudest, clearest, bass, crispest, treble, balanced sound in both ears, right? So you can go through and do this, okay? Just like I would make a bullet point about call clarity. Okay, we know they want something about call clarity. I would make a bullet point about sound quality, okay? Sound Boost XL, there's your hypnotic anchor. I would make a bullet point about, you just gave me a great one. It's, let's see here, playtime, okay? And so we would say it's like, I think you said like 15 hours. I'm gonna go back and check real quick because what you said was really relevant. Give me a second here. 30 hours standby, 12 hours talk time. Awesome. Let's use that. That's great. 30 hours standby, 12 hours talk time. Okay, right? So you've got all of this right here, okay? Right, you know you want a bullet point about this, won't drop calls, you won't miss words, sound quality, playtime, you know you want it about being waterproof, sweatproof, durability, Okay, we know it's IP7. IP7, let's just say it's a, like waterproof titanium spaceship exterior or something. Micro welding, which all products have micro welding. We just pointed it out. Like all these products have micro welding. You can't max weld something that is the size of your fingernail. Right? Okay, so great. So then you've gotten organized. So ask yourself, why does it matter? Okay. Why does it matter? It's going to tell you, why else does it matter? Why else does it matter? Okay. Okay, so that matters because you won't miss words. Why does it matter that you don't miss words? Well, and we went over this in week 5 a little bit too. Why does it matter? Let's see. Why else does it matter? Well, if you miss words, you'll miss important information, right? Your wife tells you, hey, honey, can you go to the store? You say, okay, great. I'll go to the store. And then all of a sudden it cuts out and all you hear is like milk and you don't hear chocolate, right? You don't want to miss the word chocolate, okay? If you miss words, you miss important information. If you say, why else does it matter? Okay. You don't have to repeat yourself. You don't sound silly saying what. You don't sound frustrated, right? So really, if you're getting, like, this is probably where I'd start if I were you guys. So you know how to fill out the bullet point templates. You now know which bullet point kind of goes for each, like bullet point 1, bullet point 2, bullet point 3, kind of what to put there. But when you're writing your bullet points, like pre-writing bullet points, and I know we're doing it kind of, it probably seems backwards, but this actually makes more sense if you do it this way than, the other way. So let's see, why does it matter? So like list out your bullet points, right? Ask, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why else does it matter? Okay, now you have the data you need so you can combine them into a bullet point and then use the template. And look at, let's see here. Look at, use the templates. Okay, so step 1, step 2. So what? Why does it matter? Step 3, then look at or use the templates, okay? Because you want to know why it's going to matter to the client and why that feature matters, why that outcome matters, why that benefit matters. Okay. Right? Okay, so step 3. Okay, so then, okay, so we had call clarity, right? So then you do the same thing underneath here. Step 1, okay, it's just to get organized, right? So write a single bullet point for each one, hook outcome 1 feature. This is the feature. Trouble balance. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? This is the part. So this is how sales copy is, right? Sales copy talks about features and benefits. Okay, loudest, clear space, crispest treble. So sales copy talks about the benefits. So it's loud, clear bass, crisp treble, balanced sound. This is what makes it hypnotic Amazon sales copy. Okay. Using transitions like so you can is what makes it hypnotic. Using transitions like that means it's the ideal keyword for makes it hypnotic, right? We're not just making claims. We're actually literally dropping their subconscious mind barrier and counseling them, being a therapist for them, serving them and showing them why it's the best product. Okay. Let's see here. Future pacing makes it hypnotic sales copy as opposed to traditional direct response sales copy, right? Direct response sales copy was when you wanted to get, when you were answering questions directly that you knew a client's mind would ask, and when you wanted to get a direct response via mail, right? Or email, right? So these are all things that make it hypnotic. The language patterns make it hypnotic, right? So if you come over here and you look at your bullet point templates, when I wrote these, I was infusing language patterns that are used in neurolinguistic programming, Ericksonian hypnosis, things like that, right? And we're using strategies used, like so when if you're starting to, if you not if you're starting, but if you wonder what makes these more hypnotic, it's because we're combining that Ericksonian hypnosis with the neurolinguistic programming, with like current conversational hypnosis, and we're combining that with what everybody else is doing, which is direct response copy, right? So we've got things like future pacing. These are all things you would see and hear in a hypnosis session or in a session with like a top NLP professional. Okay. And we just took them and turned them into something you can use for sales. And some people already knew some of this for sales, but it's not quite as polished and smoothed out. No one's really ever created a step-by-step to do it like this, right? So that's why, let's see here. That's why this is hypnotic sales copy as opposed to just traditional sales copy. Okay, so you just go through, give me a second here. Step 3, then step 4 is now look for ways to combine them. We have 10 feature benefit transformation bullets. You only have 5 bullet point spaces. Okay, so if you really need to, you could go back and do something like you start combining them into words like superior features, right? And you would say like let's see here, 400 feet connectivity, and you could also combine that with activity. You can combine that with 30 hours listening or 12 hours talk time, right? 12 hours talk time. Okay. And you can then take what you've got in those 2 bullets, and your bullet point will be longer because you're connecting other things. But you're able to combine bullet points if you legitimately have more than 5 things you should have in those bullet points, in that bullet point section, and you really need the space. You have 500 characters, right? So yeah. So that's, if you start getting stuck and saying, okay, well, what do I need to put in there? You can always combine them. If you start getting stuck, or if you start realizing you have just way too much information, like you saw over at Aquabliss, right? Like if you look at this one, look at how long these bullet points are. Okay. We had to combine when it starts working. Okay. This is by the way, day 1 immediately begins is another, I'll put this in here in terms of feature pacing. Okay. I'll put this under feature pacing, just a second. We had to combine, we're talking about proprietary multi-stage sediment filters here. We're talking about how it neutralizes odors. We're talking about how it infuses beneficial minerals. We're talking about what it does to your hair and your skin, right? Like we've combined all that into one bullet point because all those were really key points in launching this product, right? So actually works. Let's see here. Some chemicals for short time. Yep. So this is talking about how clean it leaves your skin feeling, and what else the multi-stage health filter does. And I want you guys to also notice this is a live listing. And if you go to Amazon and you type in high output revitalizing, give me a second here. Let's see here. If we go to high output revitalizing shower filter, okay? Oops, wrong thing. Going back. Let's see here. Revitalizing shower filter. It's right there. Okay. It's Amazon's choice. And I want you guys to notice, just in case anybody ever gives you pushback, that it is not suppressed. It is well over 100. It's converting at 37% or higher. It is well over 100 characters. Okay. And there are all caps everywhere. Okay. That does not get your listing suppressed. It doesn't. What gets your listing suppressed is if Amazon sees that you are not doing a great job, and then, like they'll notice it then and then they'll say something. But if you're getting high conversions, that's all they care about. Okay. They leave you alone. The higher the conversions, the more they leave you alone. Right. So, because they want money, that's their entire thing. Another great bullet point to add that I didn't talk about before is if your client has other products, you can talk about the comparison of this product and your other product. Right. So what we did was, let's see here. People can, like, we rank them for these keywords, and they can put in, revitalizing SF100 or SF220. And it actually started, instead of it was too confusing to do a variation on this page of these 2 products, right? People were not telling the difference really, really well. And they were ordering the wrong thing, and then they were ordering the wrong cartridges, which is the bigger problem. So you can do that too. Okay. So give me a second here. I was going to put this under, where did I copy? That's under feature pacing. Okay. Okay. Lead in. Here's another lead in. Obviously, if you have a product works on a certain timeline, mentioning that timeline is always really important. If that's what's important to you, if that's what's important to your customer, right? So if a customer is like, people are thinking, how fast? Weight loss, how fast? Headaches gone, how fast? How fast and for how long? So if those are the most important thing is relief, or loss, then you want to put that in your first bullet point. Okay. I feel like we still have half an hour left if people have questions. Otherwise, I'm going to stop here. I don't want to drown you in any more information. And I feel like I'm starting to go outside the realm of bullet points in my head. And so if you guys would like, we can pick this up and review any of this you'd like next week. If anybody has any questions, we can answer them now, or we can do them next week. It's totally up to you guys and your schedules. Just let me know what you're thinking.
I have questions. Maybe it's just me.
No, please ask.
Could you please clarify a little bit more about regarding the hypnotics and versus direct copywriting, the standard style or the traditional style, please?
Yes.
I kind of get it, but yet I don't.
Okay, so when you're talking about hypnotic sales copy, we're talking about things like lead-ins, future pacing, anything they'd use in hypnosis. So if you walk up to a friend and you say, hey, or if you walk up to a person and you have something in your hand, it's like Bluetooth earbuds, right? Hey, this is really great. Here are the features. Here are the benefits. You should spend $30 on this, right? That's traditional sales copy. So here. Hey, this is great. These are the features, benefits. You should buy it for, right, XYZ dollars for whatever it is, okay? With hypnotic sales copy, and here's where the biggest difference is. The average conversion rate for this on Amazon rate equals 6%, okay? So hypnotic sales copy, hey, we're here to counsel you to make the best decision. Let's see here. To do that, we'll use words that drop your subconscious mind barrier. You don't sabotage yourself, right? Let's start there. Then we'll use terms that your mind already understands, and stories and anchors, and these stories appear too sometimes, but not very often. It's called direct response, sales copy. We'll use stories and anchors and language patterns that we know feel soothing and help your brain understand what you should and should not purchase, right? So basically, hypnotic sales copy is sales copywriting as a therapist, but it's patterned. Okay, so when we're looking at, and the average conversions for this, for this is usually much higher, right? So in some, like, it's usually 18% to 37% on average, and that's based on the category. Okay, and the reason is we're treating them like people. That's a big part of it, okay? But different parts of this is like feature pacing, right? We talked about feature pacing, right? We talked about language patterns, and these are our lead-ins, okay? So our hooks, lead-ins, and transitions, okay? We talked about, let's see, I think we talked about SOS loops before. Open nested loops. Okay, so this is opening the mind with a question and closing it with our answer. Okay, so these are just, it's NLP and hypnotic conversational hypnosis are their own fields, but this is just how we've used it in sales copy. Let's see here. Hold on for just a second here. Yep, writing it, and I'm writing this at the top of the notes, okay? And there's a lot of big differences between them, but mostly it's because we're working with, hold on for a second. we're coming from the premise of being a therapist. And so like this is, let's see here, I need a picture of what will go wrong, what will go right. And they use our product. Each product host transitions, see below, those are different things. Okay, we're talking about anchors. Okay, so we use Hypnotic anchors, which is for positioning the product as superior. We do the research to figure out what that is. In direct response copywriters generally take the bulk of the client's information. They believe what the client says is important to the customer, and they write about that, right? So we come from a point of almost being on the marketing analysis side as well. Okay. So it's, we know what the customer wants to hear versus the client. Okay. Because when you have, let's say you have a large company, okay, and that large company has $1 billion a year or $1 million a year even to invest in marketing research, right? And so they know what their clients want. When you have somebody who's just started selling on Amazon, who doesn't have a background really in that area, who doesn't have, and this happens all the time, just so you know, who has no clue what people actually want, and they think that what they want is what their competitors are saying that their customers want. We go through and do all of that in-depth research to actually be able to determine what they want, as opposed to just believing them. We don't just believe the client, right? Sales copywriters believe the client, and they don't find any additional angles, right? So we use those to find, we find the positioning angle. Okay, that's something that sales copywriters don't do. They say, okay, how do you want to position this? Who is your market? We find out who their market is. We figure out which keywords are that we need to use. So like traditional, like the direct response sales copy, and even most listing optimizers. Okay, this also falls under listing optimizer. Hold on. Traditional sales copy, right? So there's three tiers of sales copywriters, right? For Amazon specifically. Hold on for a second. Okay, you're good now. You found it. Awesome. Okay, so you have a listing optimizer. These are people who insert keywords into very basic, feature-based bullet points, title, and alt image tags. Okay, when people walk around and they're like, oh, I charge $300. I'm a listing optimizer. Okay, or you go to Fiverr. Okay, and they charge $50, which is great for some people. It's a lot of money in some places. They're a listing optimizer. They take what you tell them and they insert keywords, right? And then you have to go back through. There isn't. It's not very persuasive. Okay, for traditional direct response copy, it can be pretty persuasive, but it's not traditional direct response sales copywriters. The ones that are, I shouldn't say traditional, the greats all do this stuff. Okay. They all do it. The greats are charging $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a sales page. Some $100,000 for a sales page, plus a percentage, right? So most Amazon sellers don't get access to people who know how to do this, okay? Because most people are stuck here, okay? Hey, this is great. Thanks for filling out the questionnaire, what we call a brief. I see these are the features, the benefits. These are the features and benefits you've told me about. So these are the features and benefits I'm going to write about, right? So hopefully the customer buys it for, okay. The average conversion rate on direct response copy is, oh no. This is 0.5%. This is 6%. And in some categories, it's a little bit higher. It can go up to 8%. Sellix has this great, I don't know if I showed you guys yet. Hold on. Sellix benchmarker. Have you guys seen this? This benchmarker from Sellix that shows you how other, look at this. Okay, product analysis. Let's see here. They have it for all of the, they had them up here for every different major category. Okay, so that's not what I was looking for. But they have like let's see here. They had a list of like all of the different categories and every single, I wonder if I'll have to go back and find it again. Hold on. I wonder if it's in my email. That's not the right email. Give me a second here. Okay, select bench marker. Let's see here. Nope, I don't have it. I don't have the link handy. I'll try to find it and give it to you guys next week. So what they've done is they've gone through every single category and said, okay, here's what it's converting at average, right? So Amazon listings, okay, listing optimizer. Okay, that means that's a person who inserts keywords into feature-based bullet points for the most part. And for some things, that's fine. If you are selling the cheapest product, that's fine. If you are someone who is in an unsaturated market, that's fine. If you're somewhere where like features matter most, where it's like you need to have this particular thing has to have this connector because it connects to this piece of yard equipment, right? Then you can go with something like this, right? Direct response sales copy. Let's see here. The reason to go for this is literally right here. That's it. The only reason that people will end up using your services is if you know how to create incredible conversions, right? And these people can create conversions too. But if you look at it in terms of, let's say that you are spending $2 per click, right? At 6%, you need, I think you need 18 sales. Hold on for a second. Yeah, it's about 18 sales. Okay, so you need 18 sales. Okay, you need 18 sales to make back what you spent on advertising, right? So that's $36, right? So after you have, gotten 18 sales, 18 clicks at 6%, you spent $36, and then you have your profit margin, right? Let's say it's on a $45 product. And let's say that, obviously landing costs, let's say that's $45 after all landing costs, okay? Before advertising, after landing costs. It's like a $9 profit. Let's take the same thing down here. If you have even at just 18%, okay, you're spending $2 per click, okay? You are, because you're at 18%, you need a lot fewer clicks, so you're spending $10 to get a sale, okay? Because, let's see here. 5 clicks at 18%, spent $10. You have $45. Like that's your after landing cost is $45. So your profit is now $35. Okay. If you sell 100 things at $9 profit, you make $900. If you sell 100 things at $35 profit, you make $3,500. Okay. That's where the difference is, right? It's much higher conversions. Because of the whole process that we use, everything that I'm showing you, you get much higher conversions, right? And you're also learning these things from NLP and conversational hypnosis, as well as direct response copy. You're not just learning conversational hypnosis; you're learning direct response copy as well. We're just adding an additional layer of icing on top of it that generates this instead of this. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And there's more than this. I can show you like a whole, I'm sure I could pull together a whole sheet, but that alone is usually enough to rattle people's brains. And then you show them the difference in conversions. It's huge. So, okay.
Yes, I'm sure this is just a fraction.
It is. Okay. So, any other questions for this week? And if they come up next week, or remember, you can always ask them next week too, whatever works.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, how do you use hypnotic anchors if you're selling like a bundle of wholesale products? Can you use those anyway?
You can use a hypnotic anchor with wholesale products. Yes. Give me a second here. It's a little trickier, right? So wait, you're talking about, so if you're selling a bundle of wholesale products, like you're talking about teas and chocolates?
Sorry. Sorry, I had to unmute. Well, like a gift basket with like
Yep.
a coffee cup and
Yep. You're going to want a
tea
hypnotic
and yes, things like that.
your process. Okay, so for, let's see here, for wholesale, example, gift basket. Okay, so you want to hypnotic anchor your process, right? So what matters to people in that process? They want to make sure everything is fresh, right? So you could have a fresh check process, right? Before you put it all together. Okay, that's hypnotic anchor. You could have a
Expiration date. I heard sometimes they got the gift basket,
yep.
like especially with 3 days and they're expired.
Yep. So like then there's like peers proof packaging. You know, like we leverage only peers proof packaging. So your gift arrives as beautifully as the moment we packed it. Okay, so peers proof packaging is another one. And you can play with these words, but really take what they want. Like they want, is it fresh? Not expired, right? Is it will it arrive beautiful and alive, right? Will it, let's see here, what else would they think of? Will it be real name brand products? So you can have some kind of verification products. Will there be?
I see a lot of same day gift baskets.
Yes. Are you saying on Amazon or are you saying like on the flower shops?
Well,
like
if you Google gift baskets, I just had to send one recently,
Mhm.
and I noticed a lot of same day.
Yes. And proof. Okay, yes. And so with Amazon, so everybody pretty much knows that Amazon has 2-day delivery, right? So if Amazon has these gift baskets already there, people who want to save money will go to Amazon and purchase it. Not everybody's going to purchase a gift basket from there, but you can use Amazon just as a heads up. If your gift baskets are selling well on Amazon, flowers.com is just another place for you to sell them. And you can connect places like that to your Amazon fulfilled FBA, right? And not to your FBA account, but you can set that up with other places. Yeah. And so you also can ship, but it'll say it just won't be available for 1-day shipping. It'll say next day shipping. Right? So yeah, you can totally do that. Yes. But once you prove you can sell on Amazon, you can go sell any place else on any of those other sites. Because what those sites do is they just contact a local flower company and have people ship it out. But if you already have it at Amazon, you know, like they just contact Amazon and have it shipped out. Right? Like all those chocolate gift baskets, they don't have those in flower shops. Right? So when they're sending the flowers with a teddy bear, it's like, well, where's the teddy bear come from? Right? If they're sending the chocolate gift baskets with a cup, where's that coming from? It's not coming from the flower shop down the street. So that's a huge way to expand beyond Valentine's Day and, you know, like beyond Amazon.
That's great.
Yeah, but that's how you'd use hypnotic anchors. It's about your process. It's about how much you care for something like that. You also, like, anytime you're creating a product, you can use a hypnotic anchor for any of your processes, a tech product, an electronics product, we use them all the time in supplement products because everybody's using the same ingredients. Why are ours superior? Well, because of our process, right? So we create a hypnotic anchor for our process. I'm glad you asked that question because I probably would have forgotten to go over that.
Well, I appreciate the clarification. That helps a lot.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions? We've still got a little bit of time.
I have a few if nobody else has.
Go for it, Neri.
Thank you. If you could just, do you have any experience or thought on fine jewelry?
Oh, yeah.
And awesome. And somebody is local fine jewelry shop approached me, and there's this one separate one, but it's still a jewelry. Are you familiar with what's called EMF?
EMF?
And I think electromagnetic field.
Oh, yeah, I know about EMFs, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what about it? What are they doing with the jewelry that has? Are they talking about like copper?
Well, they said they're using a different. They use copper, stainless steel, but this is two separate owners. One is a pure, you name it, fine jewelry, diamonds, precious stone.
Okay.
They got it all covered. And then this is the other seller. They just focus primarily at the moment electromagnetic field or EMF. So pretty much they focus on what you call like the word woo woo come to my mind because a lot of people refer to that.
What does their jewelry having an I mean, I understand how copper works for having an electromagnetic field, but what does other jewelry having it made it like?
Block. Oh, so they made it like a pendant. They call it EMF pendant blocker, so that to protect them from any magnetic field or electronic devices like cell phone, all kind of stuff, microwave, and there's
The
a lot of people
radiation.
actually.
They're blocking
Yes,
radiation.
Yes,
Blocking
and they
micro-radiation.
said that.
Okay.
Yes,
I
and then
love
he
stuff
said
like
I
that.
did some research.
That's super funny. Fine jewelry is easy. Because no one else in
Really?
fine jewelry is positioning. Like if you go and you look at fine, okay, let's hold on for a second. You go to Amazon. You said like diamond necklace, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Fine jewelry is primarily about the style and the image. Okay. So, and then it's about keywords in the
Diane, I
title.
have to answer something. If I don't answer you, I'll be right back.
Okay. It's about your image and then keywords in your title, right?
I will listen to you later.
Yeah, totally. And then it's about like, I mean, if you look at jewelry, everything that's selling is because of the design. Okay. So once you get them to click on the image with the design, right? It's Amazon silver diamond accent. Amazon collection. I love that. So I'm going to click on it. If you look here in jewelry, right? And this is Amazon's listing, so it's not going to convert as high. But it's all like flowery copy, right? You can talk about your warranty in jewelry. That's really important. Like, will you replace it for the next year? For the next 10 years? You can talk about, it's a great gift for birthday, anniversary, people know that it is, right? But you can talk about that if you want. You can talk about the process that you use to create it. Is it created by artisans? You can, or is it created by jewelers, as opposed to a factory? You can talk about the durability. You can talk about the balance of the copper or gold or rose gold and steel, right? If it's stainless steel, you can talk about it being stainless steel. You can talk about it being hypoallergenic, non-comedogenic. You can talk about it being made in the US. You can talk about it being from a long line of artisan jewelers. There's so many things you can do with jewelry, and nobody is really doing it, right? So jewelry is really easy when it comes to that. When it comes to these EMF things that you're talking about, for in and on the body, okay, one, be really, really careful because you can get shut down on Amazon for making claims that it's going to block electromagnetic radiation. So you've kind of got to dance around it. But if you go look at jewelry, if you go and you look at this, right, it's saying it's absorbing radiation, okay? So clearly people believe that they work, right? And some people are just like selling crystals. So you'd have to go and look at that specifically and see what people are doing. See what people are doing. Blah, blah, blah. Therapy bracelets. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of protective stuff on here. So whereas the fine jewelry is going to be more about positioning it the way we just discussed, this electromagnetic jewelry is going to be positioning it as though it solves a problem, but people will still choose the style that they want. So if your jeweler does not have styles everybody wants, they're not going to sell on Amazon. There's like nothing in the style category, jewelry category. If it's not stylish, it doesn't sell. So it can be classic style, which many of these are, or it can be more of an advanced, fine style, or it can be an identity-based style. So someone might have one that shows they're a doctor. Somebody else might have one that shows that someone might get one for their kid that has like a cartoon character, so it's going to depend. How you sell it depends on your competition, as always, and how you need to position it and what style it is, right? So these guys tried to ring for electromagnetic. That's really funny. Okay, any other questions? I know Neri will hear that later. Last call. You guys your minds are probably melted. My mind melts after these a little. So if your mind's melted, that's okay.
Thank you so much, Diane.
Yes. And Neri, it is, I explained all of it. I don't know if you heard any of it, but I explained it all. It should be on the video.
Yes, I heard some of it. I listened with one ear. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Or Neri, if you have more questions. Either way.
I'm still doing research on diabetes stuff, but so far, I people, it seems like, it's like, oh, my relatives still want me to take this herbal stuff, or, it's not going to work. The people that I'm reading from this post on Reddit, they don't believe alternative diabetes
They
stuff.
don't.
They go with medical.
They don't.
So I'm like, am I in the wrong thing? I'm looking at the wrong, what you call, post community.
No, you're looking at the objections. You have to take down all their objections. So, I mean, something I would look at for that, you're looking at overcoming those objections, is if you have people who are, that whoever it is going to, whoever's buying it is going to run into that objection if they try to have their parents take it. So what you would want to say is like, and if you're buying this for someone else and they object, just come back and show them, the 1,000 testimonials here of how it's changed other people's lives before having them take it. Like, hey, mom, look at this, because it does happen. I can tell you a funny story that we just went through last week. My mother-in-law, who is really awesome, she didn't want to get help around the house, and she was having some health challenges. And instead of getting help around the house, which 3 weeks ago we were trying to arrange this, she fell and she broke her hip. And she had just had to go have hip. This was last week. Or no, this was, oh my gosh, earlier this week this happened. And so after us trying to cajole her into doing this, and finally, and my husband was the one in charge of it, and he was like, she doesn't want it. I was like, fine. It's kind of like the future pacing, like, because the last thing you want is to, run out of medical options, right? That kind of thing. Like, these medical options aren't going to work for you forever. These herbal options, like, look at what people are experiencing with these, right? So think in terms of future pacing. Like, what is that person going to face is the fact you're thinking in those terms. What is that person going to face when they try to get their parents to take a supplement? Like my mom for years kept saying that she was fine. She didn't have allergies. Nothing was wrong. Her hip hurt all the time, right? My mom's not very old. My mom is only 58. Okay. She's not old at all. She's like a spry young chicken. And this was like 10 years ago. She's saying she has hip issues. And we keep telling her, you should go have your allergies tested. I bet you're eating something that's causing inflammation. And she's like, no, 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 no. She's exhausted all the time. So she finally did it, but it took somebody else her age telling her to do it, not her kids. So you can try to overcome that, or you can try to, focus on taking products that you can put in food.
Do you know anybody who's selling diabetes natural product? Do you actually know somebody who's selling it and it actually works?
Yeah, lots of them, but they're not usually. A lot of people don't sell supplements in the diabetes realm. If for older people, they sell them as like powders, so you can add it into your mom's favorite cookies, or as like pure beets kind of thing. So you can mix it into a smoothie for them, or you know what I mean. And we're talking about older people who don't believe it.
So they don't come in pills or tablets.
No, and just a thought, the older people who don't believe it tend to be a specific subset of older people who live in a specific part of the country, and usually it's induced by diet and nutrition anyway, right? So a lot of supplements aren't a fix-all for diabetes. It's like once you've gotten to the point where you've got your diet and your nutrition in check, you've got your exercise in check, but you're still on something for diabetes, like in terms of like a medical something, a pharmaceutical pill, something like that, an injection, that's when you look at supplements, right? So these people have to see that, they have to have already taken these steps. You can't, I never ever advise people to say, oh yeah, our supplement's totally going to fix this, even if you eat 7 pounds of sugar a day, right? Because it's not.
It's gonna kill them with these 7 pounds.
Yes. The alternative, well, yeah, like there's a really funny, oh, hey, look at that right there. Look at Ellie's dropping you info there. That should probably really, that can probably really help. Yeah, so there's kind of a joke in the world of education, like Billy is looking at a math problem. The math problem says, Bob has 80 candy bars. Bob, eats 68 candy bars. What does Bob have? And, Billy's like diabetes. Bob has diabetes. Like kids know, right? But a lot of older adults are really stuck in their ways, and a lot of them just don't really, so you're not going to get everybody, but you are going to capture the more health conscious parts of the country. You're going to capture the people who have more younger, more health conscious doctors, or even older, well-educated doctors who are educated in nutrition, right? So you can look at those as objections, and look at that one objection and say, and just, it's, like you can show them all the testimonials on this page or whatever, and we have tons of proof and testimonials we can show you, or you can show your parents if you need to. That's one little thing. But remember, we're always trying to get the people we can get, not the people we can't get. So that would be one small objection to overcome, but focus on the people who do want it, right? The
Thank
low
you so
hanging
much.
fruits.
That's very helpful.
Oh yeah. So, and did you see Ellie's list?
Yes.
Okay.
I will chat with her later. Thank
Perfect.
you so much, Ellie.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. I'm wishing you guys an amazing weekend, and we will catch up. I will check for any questions next week. As soon as this video is ready, I will upload it to Google Drive, and I'll let you guys all know that it's ready. I'll add it to the class notes and to the main template that we have. Okay. The master template. You guys are doing awesome. Remember, deep breathe through bullet points. Deep breathe through bullet points. It's the hardest part. Once you get them all down. Oh, the one last thing. Deep breathe through bullet points, get it all down, and don't delete anything, because anything you write, you can then, that you don't use directly for your bullet, like those other 5, like if you're rewriting your bullets, pairing them up, or anything else you write for your bullets, you can use that in your A+ section, or your description, or your on your photos, right, on your auxiliary images, if they're like short, like little type pieces. So never delete your work. That's you're writing your whole listing at once, and then we're just going to go and fill in the blanks later. Okay, awesome guys. I will see you later. Have an amazing weekend.